Hello and welcome back to my channel everyone. Well, I really hope you're doing great and keeping fit. Well, today I'm back with the NCERT Geography Chapter 5, which is the major domains of the Earth. Prior to which, in geography, we have seen that the Earth is the only planet, or we can call it the unique planet, which is having the presence of land, water and air, and that are what makes it unique, right? And we also know that the scientists are also in search of these life-giving elements, whether they are present on other planets or not, isn't it? That is why we are sending so many Mars rovers, satellites are keeping a track or whatever. Today in this chapter we will see how the Earth is made up of, what are the different domains that makes it habitable for the humans. The surface of the Earth is a complex zone in which three main components of the environment meet, overlap and interact. The solid portion of the Earth on which we live is called the lithosphere. The gaseous layer that surrounds the Earth is called the atmosphere, where gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and other gases are found. Water covers a very big area of the Earth's surface, and this area is called the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises water in all its form, that is ice, water and water vapor. And lastly, we have the biosphere, which is the narrow zone of interaction where we find land, water and air together, and which contains all forms of life. So when we talk about Earth, we talk about life because we find the existence of life here. So if we go into the Earth, we will see that it is the biospheric zone, biosphere, the narrow zone, which actually contains all life form, or all the life activity happens here, all the life cycles are found here, right? So firstly we will see lithosphere. The solid portion of the Earth is called lithosphere. It comprises of rocks of the Earth's crust and the thin layers of soil that contain nutrient elements which sustain organisms. So soil, when we talk about soil, we talk about a dynamic element which not only support plants but provides food to us. Without soil, the farmers cannot grow the crops. Without crop, we will die, right? So you can understand how important this zone is, which supports the growth of soil and which sustain other organisms. There are two main divisions of the Earth's surface. The larger land masses are known as continents and the huge water bodies are called ocean basins. All the oceans of the world are connected with one another, right? The level of sea water remains the same everywhere. Elevation of land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. So from here we can understand that within the lithosphere, on the lithosphere, we have the two elements, which are the oceans and the continents. When we talk about ocean, there are major oceans of the Earth that surround us. The Earth is made up of 3/4 portion of the water bodies, so it's called also the blue planet. The highest mountain peak, the Mount Everest, 8848 meters above the sea level. We also have the greatest depth of 11,022 meters is recorded at Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, right? So we have the highest point on the from the surface, from the level of the oceans. Also we have the deepest point on the Earth's surface. Now if we look into the continents, we all know that there are 7 major continents of the world. They are separated by large water bodies. These are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica. By now you know their location, right? You all have atlas at home. Kindly look into their location and where do they fall, okay? Asia is the largest continent. It covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Asia is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains on the west, and the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. Together it's called Eurasia. So Asia again is the largest continent of the world, and we all know that it has the two most populous countries of the world, India and China, and it is endowed with so many diversities and variations. Okay. And it is separated from Europe by the Ural Mountains. So the Ural Mountains lie at the border of Asia and Europe. Moving to the next, we will have the Europe. It is smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it, and it is bounded by water on three sides. Okay. And that is why the Europeans were once upon a time they were the most powerful naval power of the world, because their navy was extremely efficient, because they are surrounded by water on all the sides. Okay. Coming to Africa, we will see that it is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator and the 0 degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. The larger part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so the more than half of it lies in the northern hemisphere, and only and rest of the part is in the southern hemisphere. Okay, the equator, we will find that it is the only continent through which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn passes. So three important latitudes of the world passes through this continent, Africa. What are they? Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north latitude, equator 0 degree latitude, Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south latitude. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is located in Africa. The continent is bound on all the sides by oceans and seas. Okay, if you see the atlas, you will find also, for your convenience, I have given in my video. Please look at the map of Africa. You will see that it has the world's longest river, the Nile, which flows through it, and on the on the banks of which we find the royal, the most remarkable and outstanding Egyptian civilization. Okay, which have taught us, which have given us or which has left rich legacy in history. Okay. Okay. Lastly, we have North America, which is the third largest after Africa. We will see the third largest continent is North America. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies entirely in the northern and western hemisphere. So it lies entirely completely in the northern and western hemisphere. Okay, it is connected with South America through Isthmus of Panama. Going to South America, it lies mostly in the southern hemisphere, and the Andes, the world's longest mountain range, often we call it the Western Cordillera. The Western Cordillera we call it. Okay, it is the world's longest mountain range, runs through this length from north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. Do not get confused between the longest river and the largest river. Okay, so Amazon is the largest river and Nile is the longest river. Next is Australia. It is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by the oceans, and thus it is called an island continent. So we all know island is a small piece of land which is mostly surrounded or bounded by oceans. So as Australia is surrounded by ocean, we often call it the island continent. Antarctica, completely in the southern hemisphere. It is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. It is located in the south polar region. It is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlements here, which is not possible because of the extreme climatic regime. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India is also having research station here, which are named Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Now, why do these countries have research stations here? Because they are constantly exploring Antarctica. They are constantly exploring tundra region. Okay, so they are in constant research of how these places can yield more benefits in future, and what are the climatic changes that are harming the environment of these regions, and what help can be done to these. So that is why they have set up these research stations, and India is having Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri here. So children, I'll stop here today as a part of the part 1 video of the chapter. Next day, I'll go into hydrosphere and slowly to atmosphere and biosphere. I really hope that you go through the video along with the references from your atlas, so that you can understand the relative locations of the different continents and what lies around them. This is important for your knowledge later on. I'll be back with the next video, that is the part 2 video, very soon. Till then, take care. If you have liked the video, please click the like button. Those who are new to my channel, please subscribe the channel, share it with your friends, and keep yourself updated. Bye bye, take care.